Oh
Okay, I'm
yes,
sure he'll call back.
you were talking about using the loo and not flushing.
Yes.
I think it's how shall I put this?
I think I know what you're going to say.
It's just because you're so used to not having water.
Yes.
It becomes a habit. Even when there is water, you do not tend to flush.
Yes, yes. And what are you doing at that point in time? You're not even respecting the next user because you want to walk into the restroom having it clean and ready to use. And you really want that experience for the next person that comes in. So when you now leave it like that, you're disrespecting the next user. So you couldn't care less. You're just leaving it dirty like that. And that's quite unfortunate because, you know, the whole idea of etiquette is at least respecting people around you.
Okay, so suppose there is no water and you've done number 2.
Yeah, unfortunately. You know, at that point in time, you know, if you really want to be discreet, then you make use of, I guess, the tissue paper. Yes.
Layer your stuff. Like they say in the part of the country where I come from, that no other eyes should see your mess but yours.
Right.
Nobody else in this world should see your mess.
That's it. But, you know, back again to what we saw on the video, the lady just walks right in. She's, you know, oblivious of the fact that somebody else is waiting to use it, and she just walks in. And as we saw there, she walks in and she walks right out again. And she's like, oh, wow, no need to wash my hands. But, you know, and that's a toilet that has water.
Let's move away from washing of hands and water and jumping the queues.
Right.
Talk about phone usage in the toilet.
Do you know how many phones every year are actually recorded having dropped inside that toilet? Hundreds of thousands. People have their phones in their pockets. People are using their phones while they're in the toilet, and accidentally, poof, it falls right into the lavatory.
What?
Yes. And honestly speaking, so many phones have really spoiled because of that. Now, but the thing is, your telephone conversation is confidential. Now, some people think it's a nice little cubicle, I can have my conversation, but guess what? Other people, if it's public, are listening. You know, some people say, oh, that's the place where I can talk nicely and have my time with my conversation. But I think that you need to be discreet at all times, especially when it's a public toilet. And some people don't care. They go in and they talk and say, yes, yes, yes. They even tell you that I'm in the toilet. But I think where protocol and etiquette is concerned, I don't really think it's appropriate having a conversation in the toilet. That's me personally. I think you can't attend to the person you're talking to properly. And if it's a business call, you can imagine. Because some people say, I have to take my telephone with me, my cell phone with me everywhere I go. I'm expecting a very important call. Now, how are you going to attend to that VIP client? While you
when the VIP client is hearing plonk, plonk.
Yes, and you know how even on the radio and the TV, we know when somebody's in the washroom, right? Because the echo, the echo is there, or sometimes they're washing their hands or they're flushing. You're like, hello.
Yeah, you took me to the loo.
But how about those who say the best place to read? That's where they do their best reading. Indeed, some people set up their restrooms with magazines.
And they go right through it.
Oh, yes.
I guess you can do that in your private environment. Yeah. You know, you can do that in your house. You can do that in the comfort of your own home. But if you're in a public toilet, you know, well, again, why do you want to spend don't hug the toilet seat? Because other people want to use it, right? And therefore, you also have to respect the time that you use it in and out and just quickly get out of there because other people are queuing. Sometimes, you know how you've been to a restroom and there's a queue and you're banging, please come out. It happens even in church. Like, are you still in there? Come out, come out. You're taking so long. Respect for other people again. You know, that's
okay, we have a call from Akim Bode calling from Warri. Hello, Akim Bode. Hello? Akim Bode, are you still there?
We lost Akim Bode.
We lost Akim Bode again. Okay, Janet.
Now, another survey that I read about was that it was to discover the dirtiest part of the toilet. Do you have any idea what the dirtiest part of the toilet is?
Well, if it is, I would say...
The public toilet.
The floor.
The toilet paper holder.
Wow, yes.
Yeah, nobody ever thinks about cleaning that.
No.
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 And sometimes
okay, I think we have a phone call. Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Oh dear.
Calls are not coming.
Okay, I was actually going to say a couple of things. First of all, you're a lady and you walk into the restroom and you're carrying your bag. Where do you put your bag? Do you know they always
Sometimes they're hooks behind the door.
Good, good. Always put your bag on, you know, if there's a hook, mostly for your coat or your jacket or whatever, not on the floor, because even wherever you go and you put your bag on the floor, especially the toilet floor, they always say that the floor carries, when you pick up your bag, another science says that your bag is carrying 400 times more bacteria than the toilet seat. Unfortunately. So it's really, you know, it's a food for thought. Please don't put your bag on the floor. But there's another question I actually wanted to ask. Tissue paper or water? Which one is more acceptable?
Well.
Depends. I'll throw it out there because I don't want to answer that question. Because it depends on where you are. You know, in many other countries, you know, tissue or paper, you know, where you're in a certain environment, you'd always use tissue. But you tend to find that, and I guess for many reasons, you know, best known to a lot of people, you walk into some toilets, like ladies' toilets, and you see bottles of water all over the place. So, you know, people have their reasons, but again, you know, it depends on the environment where you are. It depends on, you know, the culture, I guess. But, I mean, what is more acceptable, really?
I wish I could answer that, but let me bring this in. Matthew Osai says, I used the toilet in Airport. Right. Airport, I don't know where it is. There was no soap to wash my hand, and the toilet was very dirty. And Matthew Osai is sending it from London.
Yes. Now, you see, as an organization, if you are providing restrooms for public use or for your guests or for your customers, it is the onus on that company to ensure that it is kept clean at all times. That's the way I see it. I don't see why you be a hotel and have restroom and not have people there to make sure that the experience your customers have is a good one each time they use it, because that can make or break you as an organization. Why having that why providing it and not keeping it clean? It's really important. And time again, it is the onus on that company to make sure that there's tissue paper at all times, there's soap at all times, as much as possible there is water, of course. And of course the floor is kept clean and the seat is kept clean.
Janet, tissue paper at all times. That's cutting into my profit.
Okay, but we need to take a moment and come back to discuss the profit margin and tissue paper at all times. We're back in a moment. Don't go away.